It's Alexander Sweetwood.
This is Sean Robinson.
We're coming to you live from the Unique Photo Expo. We're going to try something that we haven't tried before.
Little different this time. It's been a really crazy, hectic morning so far, getting everything set up. So
I think we should have let everyone see, we should have gotten live GoPro cams or something, so that we could watch us run around the building for the last hour.
And it has been running.
Oh, yeah.
Been running.
Yeah, I just went in the warehouse to cool down for a minute, and then I had to come here and enter a PO.
Nice.
What do we have on tap today? Let's see here.
So we got a couple things, actually. I think we've got a couple topics with some of the newer stuff that happened with Sony. There's been a lot of things that have come out.
A lot of developments.
Couple of days.
I kind of like doing one of these a week,
Oh yeah, especially the whole thing with I believe things that CEOs said about the president of the U.S. and an apology that came out.
You're always going to get stuff like that. Remember the Snapchat CEO? We had a similar.
Oh yeah. Well, and Uber's CEO talking about, with the journalist was waiting for her with his phone and was like, "Oh, my app has God mode on it. I can see everybody, even the customers."
Did he have that?
Yup. And then they had to kind of backtrack with that one.
I mean, it makes sense to have that for testing purposes, but
totally it does. So, well, before we jump into our talk,
to God mode.
Yeah, God mode.
IDDQD.
IDDQD. There you go.
That might be like the most known 6-digit game hack ever.
That and the Konami code. Up, down, left, right.
Oh yeah, that was before I was allowed to have video games. I was deprived as a child.
Let's give everyone that's watching a little bit of a heads up as to some of the giveaways that we're going to be doing.
Okay, I know everyone can see I'm glued to my computer, so give me a minute to get all set up here. I'm going to share with our producer Tim.
Yeah.
We need to get one of those cameras where we can take control and show him.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to share my screen with.
The screen has not been set up.
Yeah, I'm setting up right now. Is what I'm saying. So I'm going to give you the link. Can you hear me? Yeah, is that it?
As you can see, this entire show is being it's having a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, always.
Okay, so for the show, throughout this whole weekend, we will be giving out a bunch of prizes for people that tweet in, come into the show, stop in, ask us questions, really interact with us during the show and the New Jersey Camera Show. So today, I know we're going to be giving out some Leica t-shirts to people. They are some of the nicer ones, kind of the more classic logo with there. So we've got a small, medium, and large to give out today. We've also got, let's see, a Sony thermos. So thanks to everyone at Sony Camera Division, not Sony Entertainment,
right,
or PlayStation. This is the good part of Sony.
Although I kind of wish that I could see the emails of what was said about me over there.
Oh, of course, right? That Alexander Sweetwood. And this pretty cool little thermos, not thermos, the heck do you call this?
Well, that's a cooler.
Cooler.
And that's a bottle opener.
And a nice little bottle opener. So, for the beers that we'll all be having after the show. So, the number one way to enter in for this stuff, if you're watching us remotely, is to tweet us on, through Twitter, obviously, or through Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. Contact us with the hashtag UTechTalk. And at the end of the weekend, so Sunday night, we will be going through everything and raffling off each day's winners. Now that that's going, I know that we're
I think we're going to be
set up.
I know. I think we're set up. Okay, so I think that. Yeah, I think you should be good, and I think that you should be able to see my window.
All right.
How does that look? Good?
Sweet. What do you know? The more we do this, the easier it gets, and hopefully the more streamlined we go.
Yeah, I got people here.
People yelling at me for talking too much?
No, I got some good feedback coming in.
All right.
I minimize it. What do you got, Google?
It's probably what's going to happen is if he's sharing something. The audio's running to that also,
Yeah,
right?
I got it, Tim. I got it, bro.
All right, so with the Sony hacks. So
is that where we're starting? Is that what's first in the docket?
Yeah. Let's start there. So Sony, as everyone knows, has had the hack. We've discussed it a couple times, and again, they did not heed your warning.
I'm sorry. Did you already give out mugs? How does Gino have a mug already?
Oh, there's coming to the show. This is one of the other things too. So, in tandem with what we're doing with the tech talks and everything, if you download the Unique Photo app right now, throughout the day, you'll be getting notifications to go to a certain spot, check out a certain vendor, be one of the first people to get there, and you're going to be getting some cool stuff. One of our very loyal customers here just happened to take advantage of one of those things. So throughout the show, definitely make sure you've got the app if you're coming into the store. So yeah, sure, why not, Tim?
I got you, bro. So basically,
Just want to take a look.
right now, am I good?
Okay, we got it fixed now.
Okay, was it? So it's user error,
Yeah,
operating malfunction.
throwing the screen share on at last second there. So
Yeah, well, I don't want to. All right, bro. I want to try and keep this simple. I don't want to get too carried away here. What I want to focus on is making your password Sony123. Yeah. Now the first letter you start with S.
with an O.
Oh, with an O.
Zero.
Right.
Zero is an O.
That doesn't raise the possibility for my brute force attack.
Perfectly fine.
So we're giving away some items. People who tweet in or go to our Tech Talk page, uniquephoto.com/UTechTalk. And we're going to start talking some tech for you. We're going to get some feedback from the customers that are here with us at the show. If you come to the show, we're going to do another. Tim, we have one more scheduled today or just this one? So tomorrow at 11, if you're in the area, come by the Unique Photo Superstore in Fairfield, New Jersey, and you can kind of pick our brains. We don't really have anyone queued up today. Yeah, Tim, no one's queued up to ask any technical questions?
Not at the moment today. Still early.
I feel like I'm going to pass on the next comment I was going to make, and we'll move forward to the next topic that's at hand.
All right, so Sony motion picture.
Sony. So the latest, we went over some of the latest developments.
Yeah.
And I mean, this just goes back to what we've been saying about password security. There's a lot of new tech. People feel secure. They get into that used to being kind of where email is private. And, I always preach to people have, good passwords. I know some people that are in the public eye, and I recommend having an email that no one knows about as your, Apple ID and so on. But the ultimate issue is that people have a sense of privacy, and the Sony executives and people in Sony Entertainment are sending each other emails, and they feel that it's secure. Hey, Sean, I sent you this note. It's secure. No one. You're not going to leave your phone out.
Exactly.
I mean, my phone's on the table here. If someone took it, I guess they could read some text message. But I don't ever send anything that I don't want read.
Exactly.
If I have a secret.
People need to really look at this as what it really is that you may think you're secure and that anything you say out in the open is private, through email, through text message. But the reality is that having information stolen from you isn't just for bank information or things like that.
Which actually I preach is minimal downside.
Oh yeah, because with that you're protected from that. You are protected if your bank account gets hacked into and someone takes all your money. The bank protects you.
100%.
No one's going to protect you from the racist thing you say in an email or
your reputation.
Off-cuff thing that you say about another employee, or in the case of some high ups at Sony saying some off-collar jokes about the president. These things in a situation like this where they get taken out fully out of context. Not that there's any really context that's good to make any kind of racial joke, but if an email gets out, you always have to assume that someone's going to take it out of context and have no idea what you were talking about beforehand, and it's just ridiculous. Oh, really? So there's a
Good job on the AP for me.
bright light
I was
behind
going
you.
a little slow for the screen share, and I'm like, wait a minute, store one is on already because I programmed it from this computer. We got to get you in some of these tech talks because I know you got a good opinion about some of the tech stuff that we're talking about here.
Especially about passwords and stuff like that. About
Yeah,
how it's
yeah.
like begging people don't use
Yeah,
1, 2, 3.
Bob 1,
don't
2,
use-
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you got up here? Is this the
well,
apology from?
I really wanted to get a quote or two here, and I didn't even know what I was going to start reading, and the more I like to broadly read some of these articles, and I try and be careful about what I read, what my news sources are.
Yeah.
Just because of a time's sake. If I'm going to sit down and read an article, I want to get something meaningful out of it. Financial Times, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, reputable sources. When you start to see these news sources where someone read something and made something else up,
Yeah.
that's how people dying rumors start.
At that point, it is exactly just hearsay.
Right, and what we were talking about before, I think one of the key things is something I've been told for a long time. 1,000 years reputation can be ruined in a second. And people's sense of privacy should be a little bit different than their sense of security, which should be something different than what they want private.
Totally.
And I mean, there's things between my wife that are private, and I don't put them in an email.
Exactly.
That's rule number one. I tell her in person.
Yeah.
Don't, so they can listen to any phone call they want of mine. But I mean, this is really a step back from where the public's eye has been in terms of the NSA spying and
Oh yeah.
people at Snapchat looking at your Snapchats. And when you talk about grand scale of data, this is a very, very, very narrow incident with detailed information about a lot of people. So I think that's why it's really getting a lot of public attention right now.
And with something like this, I think Sony's handling of the situation hasn't been that great either. They haven't, there's been a handful of public statements about it. Then
Which you usually see a company either go one way or another way. They either go nothing or they're like
fully out. This is ludicrous.
Here's all our information. We FBI.
And I think I was joking with some of the other staff members about how in the 40s we had war, and it was physical war. Our generation, we're not going to see, I think, major conflicts like that. We're going to see conflicts of stuff like this, where information is what becomes the power that someone has over somebody else as an attack.
When I see U.S. companies, we don't know who was being. We don't know who was behind the attack. Just can't keep my mouth shut. We don't know who was behind the attack, but
Exactly.
One of the things that I always thought was interesting and about America per se is that we don't allow our top talent. Microsoft hires top hackers. Apple hires top hackers. Google hires top hackers. And we don't allow
North Korea hires top hackers.
Right, but we don't allow our top corporations to go on the offensive.
Exactly.
So whoever was behind this, domestic or else, we don't send, because I know there are people who want to work for free, etc.
yeah.
They have other motives, which righteous maybe they be, but when it comes to money, the biggest companies are going to be on the offensive in certain cases, but we don't allow that. So we don't allow, Bank of America, who got hacked, to go out and hack the hackers. That's not, what we allow them to do.
Exactly.
So I think
Which, talking about that is actually something funny that I read last night about the whole Sony thing.
you have it in the Asana, or?
Is that no? I actually didn't. I didn't get a chance to do it because I found it last night, and then we came here. But
Let me get it up. What is
so
it?
Sony has been launching denial of service and things like that towards torrent sites.
So you pretty much one thing that is when, whether it's true or not, once you see something or you hear something, you start typing into Google. So you type in Sony space D, and you get Sony denial of service, Sony denial of service attack, PlayStation denial of service.
So what I read last night about it was that Sony is now taking an active, or Sony Pictures is taking an active stance on the torrent sites.
Oh yeah, I read this.
They're loading up a whole bunch of websites, so they're making it where it's near impossible to download the movies that came out or download some of this information because they're just squatting on it now.
So
Which is clever.
courtesy of Recode, Sony Pictures Entertainment is fighting back. Sony Pictures Entertainment. The studio behind the Spider-Man franchise and the social network has taken technological countermeasures to disrupt downloads of its most sensitive information, which was exposed when a hacking attack crippled its systems in late November. So we could skim here for a second. The company is using hundreds of computers in Asia to execute what's known as a denial of service attack on sites where its pilfered data is available, according to 2 people with direct knowledge of the matter. So that's pretty good. Not only is this a rumor, but it's been confirmed by by Sony.
Sony's come out and said, "Yeah, we're doing this. Of course we are."
Right. I kind of like that. I mean,
it's the only. I think.
Give us a techie inside. So I get a Sony file. One gets a Sony file in their hand.
You really got to be careful with that.
I'm not involved. So
okay. So what's basically happening right now is if you were to go to places like the Pirate Bay, which unfortunately right now, well, fortunately and unfortunately, you cannot get to because they've been shut down. If you were going to one of these places and you saw one of the files up there, or say Fury was able to be downloaded, what Sony's doing now is they're setting a bunch of computers to basically download that file and to leech off of it. Which means, say you have 100 seeders, which are people that are sharing that file.
Fine.
You now have 400 leechers on that, which means your download speed goes from, even if you have great internet, to say 10 megabytes down, you have a third of a megabyte ability to download, which means it'll take a year to download that file. So this is one of the things that they're doing to kind of stop this thing, and they're doing it with any file they can possibly find. It's clever, very clever.
it is clever, but the initial once that one person, I understand that there's a new person, but the original person puts it up.
Yeah.
And let's say privately sends it to a couple other people. Once, isn't this the computer power required by Sony to shut that down going to be unstopped? I mean, isn't like a numbers game? Like if 5,000 people are sharing this movie, we're talking about a movie file, right?
It is.
So how is it torn? Is a movie file that's broken up in 2.5 megabyte sections?
So say like with a regular torrent, say like you have a 2 gig file that you're downloading into a movie, and you have the original person puts it up, so that's a peer-to-peer. So you have one person to one person downloading it, which means you have limited pipeline to get that downloaded. The more people that share that file on the peer sharing, any kind of those sites, the more bandwidth you effectively have to pull it from. So it'll pull a little from your computer, it'll pull a little from this computer, and it'll download faster. When you add a bunch of leechers onto that, which is a bunch of people who are downloading simultaneously without seeding, it makes it impossible to download. So really, you have to, at that point, find the one person. You really don't have to find the original person that shared it. You just have to block their ability to seed effectively. But like what you said, it's a numbers game, because that means that now the other person that downloaded it can just upload their own thing and start seeding from that one. So once it's a virus, once one item gets out, it then just starts to duplicate. So one file.
Right, assuming that the people are playing fair on the BitTorrent network.
And in a situation like this, where people always want to, people always feel slighted by these companies, they're going to go through those methods, because it realistically takes someone 2 minutes.
I don't remember if we mentioned this last time, but one of the things that I think is in Sony's slight favor here is that because of what leaked. Okay, Fury is one thing, but how many people are really on these BitTorrent networks, Sean? A lot? Thousands? Hundreds of thousands?
Crazy, stupid numbers.
Yeah? That many?
Oh, yeah.
So,
because remember, these sites are not just like movies and music. This is, computer programs, software, really any. And
this is like the original. This is essentially like a.
This is a modern
Napster. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Or Morpheus or anything.
Well, it's essential. Those were just clients for an established protocol, which was
exactly
how to share these files from one person and a group of people to everyone be able to grab them.
Yeah, and some entities have handled it correctly. Some have miserably handled it. Looking back at how, say, the Metallica issue was with Napster, where Lars Ulrich came out and was like, this is evil, we can't do this, and then everyone kind of said, dude, you're still making millions of dollars, what are you complaining about?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that kind of like money for the talent, especially because your chance of being, you may be able to have bands, your chance is 1 in a billion, so. They can charge a lot, but at the same token, they have intellectual property they want to protect. I think now that the internet and the market has transitioned so much we're seeing a lot more people just willing to pay the fees. I'm not totally familiar with the service Spotify, but tell me if I'm wrong. You can essentially pick any song you want and play it right now, right?
Exactly.
So
anyone that participates with Spotify.
Right. So you can do that for free, or you can pay for it.
You can do it for free, and you get ads.
Okay.
Or you can pay for it and.
Are they public? Are they a public company right now?
Not sure.
They're probably losing money right now, but it's relevant. So the model has become so public where the music industry has said, hey, we're going to just combat this by adjusting our pricing, and that's kind of what the free market has allowed.
Exactly.
I think it's a good thing.
Even Apple came out and said that iTunes music downloads are way down, and it's because of music streaming.
You mean
service.
PPS, pay per song?
Pay per song.
I don't know if PPS is an acronym, but
it's mainly because now with services like Google Play, well, Google Play is kind of a dicey one to look that with, but like Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio, any of those things, you have the ability to say, if I'm fine with an ad every once in a while, I'm not going to pay for that, and I'll listen to as much music as I want.
I heard an interview the other day on my short commute to work, and they were essentially discussing how there's like different royalties associated with. I mean, if a song's bought, yeah, I know there's division of how it works. So the writer gets %, this person, but essentially that section of royalty is allocated. So iTunes has a negotiated deal, and the artist gets 60 cents for the dollar song. So Spotify, the song plays, they get a lot less. It's more like a radio play.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Yeah, but I think that some of the pie is better than none of the pie. I think is kind of what's going on here. But back to my original statement of in this case of what leaked, from what we read. I mean, two of the movies we would never have heard of probably.
Yeah, probably.
Fury, would we have seen? Maybe. I don't know if I would have seen it in the movie theater or not. But Annie,
I actually did see it in the movie theater, which was amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was a great movie too.
Yeah.
And I saw Annie at someone's house, and would I have seen it in the movie theater? No. Would I have seen it when I came on TV? Yeah. But if I had kids, would I have been like, hey son, I got you, hey daughter, I got you, my daughter's coming. I'm like, hey, I got you the Annie movie on BitTorrent. You know what? Well,
check this out. It's bootleg Handycam quality.
Well, I think that was the thing, that it was full quality that leaked, so people were able to.
These were the teasers that went out, or not teasers, the testers that went out to the reviewers.
Oh, are those the ones that you frequently get on the network where people play a movie for me and it says
preview
screener or something?
Screener. Yeah, it's exactly what it was, which means it's a decent quality. So getting it streamed.
Yeah, I mean the kid who played it for me was.
Stuff's
it looked good
how
enough.
Good it is.
Yeah, I was surprised.
It's right to what we were talking about last week about how with HBO, the whole thing that they've basically alluded to the fact that when Game of Thrones starts the next season, that's when they're going to launch the paid service.
Right.
So independent paid service, and
they're combating it also. They're combating piracy the same way.
They're doing it the right way.
Me too.
Like I said,
I have no problem paying for HBO. I pay for everything. I don't have a problem paying for something that I get value from.
Yeah, especially if it's an online service where I can say I don't need it for the next 4 months, so I'm not going to pay for it.
And a lot of the people and a lot of the companies, I'm sure everyone would agree, that people feel are taking advantage of them, try to lock you into a contract, try to lock you. Now, I understand there's certain, like the argument could be made for an airline ticket, you can't just buy it last second because they have allocation. They need to pick up the plane. Yeah. But I'm not asking to fly for free. But when someone seemingly the additional user is profit for them, and everyone feels they're being gouged and they're being locked in, I think that's where you ultimately see the biggest issues. So let's roll with the next topic.
Really?
That we have is what day is today?
Today is today's the 12th.
Oh, did they pass the budget? Anyone know?
Which budget? Government budget?
Did the government pass their budget?
Yes, they did.
Tim, what kind of producer are you, bro?
I'm pretty sure they.
We
did.
need to get you like a producer cam.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they did because there were articles this morning about how they slipped like a bunch of like Citigroup written things.
I agree with their putting. It essentially loosened the Dobbs restrictions on derivative trading. Now,
exactly. Yeah.
It did. I don't want to get into a whole economic discussion during our tech talk, and we're so off target anyway today as it is. We were hoping to get some people. Yeah, but really. Right. That's my economic talk at 12:30. But essentially, the issue that they had was the Democrats were upset was if what passed was going on, was that in order to get these loans and grants for, let's say, small Middle West farmers, they need to have a bundled method, and a derivative trading was allowing that to happen.
Well, over that was something that went into it, and it was because it was like this had to pass or something. Not fully up on it, but we will definitely have to.
We'll get back on that
thing. So okay. So with the Sony thing, it's the whole thing of, again, with the passwords and security and stuff like that, like, don't say anything in a digital medium that you wouldn't want other people to know.
That you wouldn't want live casted from the Unique Photo Superstore in New Jersey.
New Jersey, located in 123 U.S. Highway 46 West.
We should roll out some coupons to the website, like exclusive to Tech Talk. We'll do that next time. We'll do that tomorrow. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow.
Maybe someone really needs to come back next tomorrow or Sunday and listen to some of the other stuff we've got.
Tim, do we have anyone watching this thing? I don't need a number. Do you want to give some raffles? Did anyone tweet in for a raffle?
Oh, hi. How's it going?
Do you have a Tech Talk question that we might be able to answer? He's good.
He's good.
He knows everything already.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
So,
what are we giving him? What do you want?
What would you like? We have.
I think he's got a mug already.
We have Leica t-shirt. Okay, you got a mug. We got a couple Leica t-shirts over here. What size? Small, medium, or large?
Here, we'll beat you to it. Bob.
There you go. All right. So, okay.
We have a couple more topics. We got way off topic today, as usual. We start talking and we get all these messages flooding in, and everyone's messaging us.
Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention.
No, I only had to unlock 3 prices so far.
Oh, okay.
Oh, actually, I stopped reading my things.
So,
I'm a little loud. That was, you think that's the first time I heard that?
From the microphone.
How's that? Am I better now? Okay. I've heard before that I'm loud.
Yeah. So, okay. So, moving on to...
Why'd you put a smiley face after you said try not to shout? Like, try not to shout. Yeah. You're in trouble.
Wink. All right. So, we had started talking about the FAA and the drones and stuff like that last week, and we've got a pretty good connection with drones in the store now because of the photographic side.
So let's talk about what we got. We have the DJI drones, which are awesome quality drones. I mean, those are essentially the highest quality drones, and they can go very far. Now we just started carrying
3D
robotics, and that's a more cost-effective drone. Is that what it's supposed to be?
I'd say yes and no. They're a little different in the aspect that, from what I understand with it, the DJI drones were tiered. So you have total consumer, you have semi-pro, and then you have the real high-end pro.
Okay, now the high-end one is capable of having like a gimbal.
Mark II, Red Epic,
right. So that's how much is that? That's like a $3,000 rig or $8,000.
It's up there.
Yeah, so
I'm not 100% sure because when you get to that area, you're piecing things together. You're grabbing this component, that component, and dollars
did
really rise.
3D robotics drones come in yet?
Yes, they did. They're actually in our warehouse right now.
Okay, send me a note.
So,
I think the biggest thing for everyone to know is that when you're dealing with a drone that's going to carry a $10,000 worth of camera equipment, you don't want to be fooling around.
No, not at all. So yeah, we've got the different drones there, and something that I saw that was very interesting with the article was the statement that Amazon just made, because there was the joke a little while ago about how they were going to be making sorry. They're going to be making.
Why did you say sorry?
The launch of.
Because you're too nice.
Yeah, I'm too nice.
So here, let me jump into this article. So
I'm rambling.
No, it's okay. No, USA Today. So we got this from the USA Today. 4 companies won approval Wednesday to fly commercial drones to conduct aerial surveys, monitor construction sites, and inspect oil flare stacks, the Federal Aviation Administration announced. The approvals for Timland Navigation, Vados, blah, blah, blah. They're the first. The FAA's first priority is safety of the nation's aviation system, which I agree, as we talked about last time. And today's exemptions are a step toward integrating unmanned aerial systems operation safety. I think there's a really big thing for us to look at, because this essentially opens us up to private permits going to be issued, as well as Amazon or FedEx having potentially direct routes for their drones.
Correct. The problem, though, where I know Amazon is seeing things, and this is actually from The Verge. They were talking about Amazon tells FAA to change drone laws or they'll move their research abroad. Because as of right now,
they can't get a localized permit?
Well, there's two things. You can have an exemption,
okay,
which is what Amazon's looking for, or you can have an experimental permit. Well, Amazon doesn't want an experimental permit. They want to just be exempt. They don't want to have to follow and go through the paperwork with it, which, from a business standpoint, I can understand.
Well, I think one of the things we're going to see here is, it used to be like under whatever feet you can do what you want. But I think that if they're going to be flying, I know, like, let's say they were going to deliver a package. Let's say Unique Photo is going to deliver cameras in a 6-mile radius. Feasible.
Yep.
We have Caldwell Airport right here. We have Lincoln Park Airport right there. So
Morristown Airport that way.
Right. So the plane, I don't know about you, but when the plane lands, it's on the ground.
Yeah.
So
technically,
it's 0 feet.
Oh yeah. And from what I understand, talking to some of our customers that use the drones, our entire area here is very limited on flight space that you can use a drone in.
Oh yeah.
Because you've got the airport landing patterns in the area. I mean, right above us is a landing pattern.
Right. For the Cessna planes at a Caldwell Airport.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
over 200 feet here.
Caldwell Airport's almost a mile long. They could land a 747 if they had to there.
Oh yeah.
So we're not talking about a fool around airport. That's a lot of volume.
And people forget looking up at like Sussex County. Sussex County Airport's also the same thing. It's long enough to land a mainline jet. You can't fly in the area.
Let's hypothesize for a minute. What do you think the right outcome is? Because if someone's flying a drone, I understand that you would say don't fly near that. There's rules, but what? First of all, there's a multi-pronged topic here. We have first penalties.
Yeah.
Which,
as of right now,
you go to jail.
Can't enforce.
Right, but if you're flying a plane, if you're flying a drone and you hit somebody and you hit a plane in the airport, it's not unfeasible for you to think that was a result, which means you're going to be. Could have the charges of whatever happens. God forbid someone gets murdered or killed.
You happen to be, it happens to have everything go wrong, and it takes a jetliner down. Because it is possible.
And that can be catastrophic. Correct.
It's not out of the realm of something that can happen
when you're flying near an airport.
Yeah, especially with the fact that a flock of birds can take down a plane.
Tim,
a big piece of plastic.
Can you you want to show? I'm going to send you a link. The video. How's the video stream from my computer to yours? Okay, or you want me to send you a link? All right, I'm gonna tweet out the link. This I have a link, and we obviously carry drones. So one of our drones. Do we have the footage still of the DJI Quadcopter 2 from our store?
Ooh, we might. I know it's on our YouTube page with Kevin's instructional video on it.
Yeah, I wanted the one we had a test of it, and this thing was amazing.
Well, I know Sergio will actually be flying one in the building later tonight.
We're going to tweet out. We're going to get you a link. We're going to tweet it out. And this drone, it goes high in the air where they do wedding shots. we're talking unbelievable. So that's all we wanted to really talk about on the drones, I think. Do you have anything else that you specifically want to mention?
It's just, the thing of with the drones in general is, you'd said before, like, what really would be the outcome or even like a response to it is that,
we gotta have more news articles lined up to give out for.
Yeah.
Because we're just we have so many topics to cover that like what
we get very excited.
Yeah. We're techies.
Okay, so going right to this one then, the FAA one this is from The Verge, and I'm gonna tweet it out in a minute. So one of the problems that I see with this is that, look, Amazon's a big company. You can't deny that. And when a company like that is looking, and you're pretty much seeing through this statement that they're trying to strong arm policies, whether it's the FAA or just any other branch of the U.S. government. They're saying, and this is a quote from Amazon, it says, "Without the ability to test outdoors in the United States soon, we will have no choice but to divert even more of our drone research and development resources abroad." That is in my mind, the most counterproductive thing you can do. Why not work with somebody when the FAA has come out and said, we will issue you a permit, an experimental permit to do this?
That's their company culture.
They want the exemption. They want to say, well, I don't want to have to follow your rules.
That's their company culture. Remember when they wanted to not charge customer sales tax in New Jersey?
And they won for a while until...
They didn't win. It was just... I'm surprised they didn't... If I were the government, I'd make them do retroactively.
Yeah.
Because they want a distribution center in every state.
Yeah.
Amazon's obviously a great service. Up here we have a Pro 10. Good job. So you listened to the meeting. So we have Pro 10. We have them at a ridiculous price. We're giving away free paper. I mean, that's a high quality printer.
Oh yeah.
Which ink base is in that printer?
Oh God.
We have pigment based inks in that printer. So
It is all pigment based. Yeah. Anyway.
So I wanted to read one more quote here that we were talking about before because this really caught my attention. So Uber said Tuesday that it is investigating its top New York executive, for tracking a BuzzFeed news reporter without her permission in violation of what the transit giant says has been long its privacy policy. The company has also published its privacy policy for the first time on Tuesday, though it said the policy had always been in effect. Now, private policy or not? Scott, you retarded?
What's wrong, buddy? Come on. Scott, our marketing manager, everybody. Anyway, so yeah.
Do you have a bleep button? Can you back that out?
Yeah, no. So the that was great. So yeah, the Uber thing. I mean, that's exactly what I was talking about. Where the guy was waiting for
that caught some attention. To 7, 8, 9 messages. We're going
awesome.
crazy here.
I think doing them in the store is fun.
Yeah.
A little more sidetracked, but
so. Privacy policies and personal information are obviously. I mean, when you use Uber, you could understand. Hey, a developer, a computer programmer might need to, make sure this is going on. Yeah. But what you don't want is for them to look you up and be tracking you.
Exactly.
It's a terrible policy, and I know I actually commend Facebook for doing this. They use a tremendous amount. I mean, they have essentially one developer per I think it was 1 million at last check users. And they mask the data because they need to check live data. There's no way to do it besides looking at live data.
Yeah.
And they mask the data, and they have like double walls. So they spent a lot of money to make it so that their developers don't even really see the true real data. And I think that's really a company that people should look after, especially when you're talking Uber is a couple hundred person company valued at billions and billions of dollars. This is not something that you can fool around with.
Definitely not, because it can send such a horrible signal to your customer base. That's, yes, in the app when you download the app, you're telling them that you're always sharing your location. That's how that system works.
When you're using the app,
exactly,
100%.
But what
am I not going to use it because of this? No,
definitely not. From my understanding, where a lot of the issue came from was that they can find your location even when you're not using the app, when the app's not open, which was the original thing that came.
Okay. But the average user is scared. Anyone listening to our show knows that, how to disable that.
Yeah.
We should do a little segment on that too.
Walk through on how to disable.
Yeah, maybe we'll tap into that tomorrow. What do you think about that, Tim? I'll review, make sure everyone knows the settings in the iPhone. Sean will do the
Android stuff.
Android, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can we do it on can I view your phone screen on my computer?
Probably.
Because I could do it on the iPhone. So we'll figure out how to do that for you. We'll screen share it with him. We'll roll it tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I want to make sure everyone's safe. And we know how to do it. So if you have a question, come in the store. Let's get a last thought.
Yes.
Last
thought.
No, that's it? We had a good thought, and I cut you off as usual.
Right. No, it's I don't know. We've got so much stuff going on in the world right now with tech and just where everything's going. And I think what the things that have come up in the last, say, 3 months of issues happening in tech companies all root down to one thing: being more secure with passwords and being more careful and conscious about things you're saying and sharing online, because you make one mistake, just like you said, 1,000 years of reputation could be ruined in a split second.
Yeah, and
all your passwords.
Yeah,
don't use 1, 2, 3.
Definitely do a password update. Keep things secure. And I
unique photo.
I think one of the biggest things that people do feel also is that they make a really secure password, but then they keep them all in a password keeper that as a weak password.
Don't have all of your employees' financial information locked in an encrypted file that right in the same area has passwords in a file.
Right.
Sony Entertainment Pictures. Don't do that.
So we're gonna call it a wrap. So make sure you stop by the Unique Photo Superstore, and if you're with us tomorrow at 11 a.m., we're gonna get you on the air. Tweet us at AX Suite.
I'm at SMR_photography.
And you can always tweet us at Unique Photo, and our emails are readily available. So thanks everyone for listening, and join the discussion. Send us a note, and we'll go from there.
Tweet through the rest of the day. We will be here. Alexander and I are going to be watching our Twitter accounts, so tweet us questions.
Someone will be watching mine. So we're going to I think also, are we going to do another talk later with regards to a specific vendors, or what are we doing with that?
There may be some surprise stuff later. If so, definitely check out, watch the account. It'll be up on YouTube. We will be tweeting the entire weekend of all of our.
Yeah, we know it's hard to always watch live, but we do appreciate everyone that joins in and watch our talks after the fact. And we're going to try and, like I said, we're always trying to improve, and we're definitely going to try and get you some more articles for you to read on your own following our talk, since we do jump to a lot of topics and we go a little bit in depth. But
I think actually tomorrow we're going to pick 1 or 2 topics, and that's it. And just hammer out.
Hammer them out. I mean, like this I could go on. I don't know about you, but I can go on for a long time about Sony Pictures Entertainment. I mean, SOS0NY.
Yeah. So definitely, if you're in the area for the next 3 days, stop in, check out what we've got going on in the store. It's definitely busy. We've got classes all weekend, raffles, all kinds of free stuff, crazy stupid deals on products, and get that last minute gift for someone that you're looking for the holidays.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Peace.